What's up, everyone? Coach Silas Sham here from Absolute Soccer Strategic Player Development, and welcome back to another episode of TEC TAC Tuesdays, our weekly look at either a technical or tactical element of the game of soccer. This week, we're going to look at attacking principles of the game. How do we score more goals effectively as a team? What are we looking for our chance to actually attack the other team, and how can we maximize our chance of winning by scoring more goals? Well, we're going to look at the 5 principles of attack: penetration, support, width, mobility, and creativity or improvisation. We're going to check out a goal from Toronto FC. They move Houston all over the place, left and right. They create tons of gaps, and they do a great job of moving the ball effectively to maximize their chances of winning, which they end up winning 2-0. In this move, they string together 20 passes, and it is really a showcase of how you can attack another team using all of these principles. Again, penetration, support, width, mobility, and creativity or improvisation. Let's check out this clip. So to start, let's look at what TFC is using as a formation. They're in a 3-5-2. And this formation has been really popular over the last year because of the allowance of an extra player in the midfield, which creates more support and more width. Take a look at how TFC transitions in this formation. When they gain possession of the ball, what you're going to see is the center backs, Morrow and Zavaleta, push out to the wider areas in the back line, which allows the wing backs, Edwards and Bethazor, to push up the field and become wingers. Already, you can see how the way TFC has set up is trying to create more width and also more support options when they have the ball. As TFC now transitions into their attacking phase, what you're going to see is shifting and mobility from the midfielders and the forwards. Number 10, Sebastian Giovenco, actually drops between the lines of the defense and the midfielders. He's a creative player, he's tricky, he's smart, and he does this so well. He creates and finds room for himself between the lines, and in doing so, he gets more chances on the ball to make things happen. As this play develops, you're going to see a couple penetrating passes, but also penetrating runs that completely unsettle the Houston defense. And even though some of the players who make the penetrating runs don't get an assist or touch the ball at all, they are crucial for the goal to happen because they are the ones who are making the defenders and the midfielders collapse in on themselves. Let's take a look. So Houston in black has just turned over the ball. They've just cleared it, and now Delgado, the center midfielder who's covering for the defensive center midfielder for Toronto, Michael Bradley, has won the ball. The ball gets played to the center back, and now notice the movement of the right center back and the left center back. They're going to start to stretch the field since they're in possession of the ball so that it's harder for the defenders to mark them. Ball gets played into the right wing back. There's no option on, i.e. he's being pressed by 4, so he does the sensible thing and passes the ball back to maintain possession. Quick interchange from the right center back to the defensive midfielder, Michael Bradley. He's a better passer in general, but he sees nothing on again because he's being pressed. So, no problem, let's regroup. Bradley plays the ball back all the way to the keeper, and now TFC is going to try and reset their attack. They're trying to make sure that Houston can't be in their compact defensive position. Since it's 0-0 at this time, it's about 15 minutes into the game, and what you're going to see is Houston is now going to come out of their shell. So Toronto's just going to wait. Patience. That's fine. A little quick interchange of play here, forward presses, and now we're off to the races. Now typically, you won't have this much time or space to receive, turn, and pick up your head, but TFC is playing a 3-5-2. They have 5 midfielders versus a 4-4-2 from Houston. And 4-4-2 is also a diamond in Houston, so the midfield for Houston is being way overrun. From a basic tactical standpoint, TFC has their tactics spot on. They're always numbers up against Houston in the midfield. So far, TFC has executed their width and their support options really well. But you'll never score if that's all you do. So look what happens here. In the TFC squad, if there's one player who's going to be the creative one, the one who makes things happen, the unconventional player who breaks the rules, it's going to be Sebastian Giovenco, the left forward. Look at the position he takes up between the lines. He has drifted way deep into the midfield to check, and now, as he receives the ball, he's going to make a direct penetrating run through the heart of the midfield and try and make something happen with a combination to Josie. It doesn't happen, but look at this. All's not lost. We still have the other principles of play. Whereas before, when TFC had the ball in this exact position, they cycled the ball to the right, they got trapped, and then they brought it all the way back to their goalkeeper. Sebastian Giovenco does something different. He sprays the ball out to the extra width provided by the left wing back. So what principles have we seen already employed? Well, we've seen penetration between the lines of defense and the players. We've seen support with different passing options for every player who has received the ball from TFC. We've seen them exploit the width and really stretch the field with the center backs and the wing backs. We've seen the mobility on and off the ball already, and we're going to see a bit more of that just in a second. And we've also seen creativity, improvisation, and vision from Giovenco, who has taken up a position that he isn't technically supposed to be in as a left forward. Because of this, look at the numbers that we have in the midfield. There's 6 red shirts that will outnumber 3. And also look at the width provided by the wingbacks. Again, as they stretch the field, it's going to make it really difficult for the defense of Houston to stay compact and keep Toronto from going right up the middle. I also want to highlight Vasquez because the mobility he shows here, the movement off the ball in making this penetrating run, is just as crucial as the pass and the finish that you're about to see. Watch him, he's circled. He comes in, and because he makes this run, the right back for Houston immediately sucks into him, which creates this space for the extra width, the left wing back from Toronto, to make a simple cutback, and now goal. This is an amazing showcase of all the principles of attack. Again, we had penetrating passes and runs, we had plenty of width, we had plenty of support options all the way across the field, we had mobility. Number 7, Vasquez, he made that great run across the field, and he continues it to draw more players. Watch this. Number 7, he makes his run into the space and continues going. And now, as the cutback comes, he still occupies 3 defenders so that Altidore can have a strike and finish on goal cleanly. I hope you enjoyed this tactical analysis of the 5 principles of attack. We had penetration, support, width, mobility, and creativity. In all of these, we want to make sure that we learn these principles. If you're a parent, a player, a coach, we want to reinforce these principles in training sessions so that in the game, we can score the most amount of goals, we can maximize our offense, and we can win more games. We saw in TFC's exchange, they had 20 passes, they had the ball in the center, they moved it to the right, they shifted Houston all over the place, left to right, forward and backwards, and then they took advantage of the space they had out wide, and all of this came together because they knew the 5 principles of attack. So do this in your upcoming games. I hope you guys have a great week, and as you continue to grow in your tactical IQ, you will become much better players. So, Coach Silas from Absolute Soccer Strategic Player Development signing out. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week on TEC TAC Tuesday. Bye!